So for how long have you been a preceptor or clinical instructor?
I guess technically, like when I did my graduate assistant position at ISU, I was a preceptor-ish for 2 years. So about 2-3 years, I think there's kind of hard to answer that question, but yeah.
Like
this is my 5th year as a certified athletic trainer, but I've only really had preceptor opportunities for 2 of those years.
Gotcha. So, and that was at the college?
Yes. Yeah.
What is your current position?
Currently, I am an athletic trainer through Union Hospital, and I am positioned at St. Mary of Lourdes College.
How many students do you supervise currently?
Currently, I don't really supervise any students, but I have the privilege to work with Sydney, who is now currently a graduate assistant through Union in the Doctor of Athletic Training program, which I'm an alumni of, and I'm really proud to say that and to be able to work with her. So I'm technically not a preceptor, but I think that I have kind of like a leadership role there.
Yeah, I would agree. What do you describe your current position as your dream job? A good fit or a stop along the way?
I always think this question's kind of funny because for me, like, a dream job is not really determined by location or setting, but based on whether or not I'm happy and being able to achieve what I want. So to me, it's not like being an athletic trainer at the NFL or at a secondary school level or something like that. That's not what I think about as my dream job. But if I'm being able to achieve my kind of life mission of creating positive change with the people that I work with every day, that would be considered a dream job. And I do feel like that is what I have here currently. So, yeah.
That's like a really good explanation.
Good.
I like it.
Good.
I'll use it. Do you think if you did have like a more preceptor role, would that take away from what you're doing here, or do you think it would like integrate smoothly? Like, do you think you'd feel overwhelmed with that?
I think that probably at some times it would be overwhelming for me. I don't think that during my time at ISU being a preceptor was one of my strengths, and I think that is because I didn't put as much effort as I could have in that area during that time. And when I go back and think about it, there's like a lot of things that I would have liked to do differently. But now I think that being a preceptor in this setting and like where I'm at now, I feel like I've just grown so much that it would be really beneficial for both me and the students that I'd be potentially working with. So also, I'm sorry that my voice is gone.
Approximately how many hours each week do you spend working, and how many hours are you spent in educating students in the clinical setting? So I guess the second part doesn't really apply.
Yeah. Well, I get paid to work 40 hours a week, so I try to stay as closely, like I have to log my hours every day and submit them for the hospital. And I don't think that the HR department really realizes what athletic trainers' schedules are like. So I think that they're sometimes confused that some days might be 3 hours, some days might be 10 hours. But I really do try and stick as closely as possible to that 40-hour mark. I'd say on average between 40 and 50 hours a week right now is what I spend working.
What are the positives or things that excite you about your current job?
The positives are that I feel like I am making an impact. The positives and what excites me about my current job is that, one, it's kind of something new every day. Like, I'm not with one specific population or one specific sport. Oh my goodness. I work with both men and women, and I work with all the sports here, so it's constantly changing. Also, what excites me is that I really do feel like I'm making an impact on the patients that I'm working with, which at some previous places I haven't really felt that, and felt that I'm making those relationships and building these connections. And then also a positive is that everyone's really like open to all the ideas that I have and the changes that I've wanted to make so far. So that's always rewarding and makes my job easier.
What do you think the positives of being a preceptor are?
I think kind of the same thing is that you have the potential to have an impact on somebody else who's coming into the profession. That could be either a positive impact or a negative impact. Like you can kind of help them choose their path in this career and either help them be excited about the profession or steer them away from the profession. So hopefully if I do have the opportunity to be a preceptor again or have that role, I can help be like an advocate for the profession and an ally for these athletic training students who potentially will work alongside me in this field.
In what ways do you provide mentoring for your athletic training students? Or like what ways would you provide?
Okay. So I think that just kind of having an open and honest relationship with them, and like I don't want to be seen as their friend necessarily, but I want them to know that like this is a collaborative environment and not like I'm the boss and they're here to fill water or do the things that I just don't have time to do essentially. Like I think that one really like beneficial thing or one big thing that I would incorporate is having like a debrief time at the end of each day. And I think I kind of do that with Sydney now. Again, I'm not her preceptor, but because we're not doing the same things every day, just taking that time to catch up at the end of the day, see what went well, see things that we want to change or ideas that we might have. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's really helpful too, just
Good.
to like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, just
And
so we're on the same page.
Yes, it helps be on the same page and just helps that flow of communication, which is a really important part of our job.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I would agree. Do you feel that you are a good mentor for athletic training students?
I like to think so, yes. I really strive to have a positive outlook every day and create this positive energy around me. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means, or like I have bad days too. I have days where I'm in a bad mood or have negative emotions, but really try not to let that impact my work. Or if I do, I'm just honest with people too. Like, you're allowed to have a bad day. But I do think that I'm a good role model in that sense, and that I am an approachable person, and people hopefully are comfortable coming to me if they have questions or want to learn or want to ask for my advice on things.
What excites you about the athletic training profession?
Lots of things. I think that especially being a DAT alumni, it like just gives me a totally different perspective of the profession. But I think that what excites me is that there's been so much growth in the profession, and it's like your traditional athletic settings are becoming less of the norm, and all of these other tactical, non-traditional settings are becoming more and more popular, and we're just educating people like how much potential athletic trainers have and how many cool things that we can do. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, I would agree. In what ways do you model excitement about the athletic training profession? It says for your students, but for anybody. I mean, you can choose.
Sure. I think that just kind of taking every opportunity that I can to educate people, especially like patients now, even the difference between using the term trainer and athletic trainer, and like all of the things that we really can do. Like every time that I have the opportunity to provide a little bit of education, I try to do that. I think that another way I like to do this is through social media, and my traditional research was on how athletic trainers can use social media for advocating for the profession. So I really think that within the last few years, I've shifted how I use my own social media, and especially like Twitter and things like that. I use it for more of like educational purposes or promoting the cool things that athletic trainers are doing, or like different like heat or concussion education type things. So I think it's a really good outlet that a lot, not just me, but a lot of athletic trainers have been using more recently, that really allows us to have a greater reach out to the public and to our own athletic training community.
Cool. So for our assignment this week, we have to create we're creating a teaching like what we think preceptors should be taught to before they start being a preceptor. Do you have any main topics that you think would be good to be in there?
That's a hard question too. I feel like that is more setting specific than a generic, every preceptor should be taught this.
That's true.
I feel like it should be more specific to the setting. And I think that was kind of one of the struggles of when I was technically my whole situation was abnormal, to put it that way. But I think that was kind of one of the struggles, the preceptor training was not really structured in that format. I think that a good way to maybe change that is to kind of ask the athletic training students, what are they looking for in a preceptor? And then to start with that and then base the preceptor training or development based on what the students' needs or wants are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.